Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the recent and exciting updates that have been happening in the Qubic ecosystem. So let's get into it. So yeah, guys, the first thing that I think would be interesting to all of you out there that are interested in Qubic is the introduction of the Qubic Grants Program. So the Qubic Grants Program is designed to accelerate the development of high-quality smart contracts and solutions that will significantly enhance the Qubic ecosystem. And you can apply for a grant now at grants.qubic.org. So basically, this is if you have a project or an idea that you would like to launch in the crypto space, you can now do it in the Qubic ecosystem, obviously taking advantage of everything that Qubic has to offer, and get a grant then, so a set amount of money to actually go and develop your project. So this is a really, really cool development, and it's hopefully going to bring a lot of projects to Qubic ecosystem. And of course, the more projects that come to the Qubic ecosystem, that's going to bring more use cases, but it's also going to bring more burns through IPOs and smart contract usage. So that's a really, really exciting development that I'm delighted to see. Then the next thing that we have is called Qubic Capital. And Qubic Capital is a new community project that allows you to join the Qubic ecosystem with ease. And basically, the idea of Qubic Capital is when a new project is launched in Qubic, there is an IPO. So for example, when one of these projects that launches through the Qubic Grants Program, someone will come up with an idea. For example, it could be just like a DEX, and they decide that they're going to release a decentralized exchange on the Qubic network. Qubic goes and reviews their idea, they get a grant, they develop their idea, and then when they go to launch it, they have to launch it through an IPO where 676 shares are created and people can go and bid for a share. And every person that gets a share then gets passive income from fees generated by that DEX. The thing is that a lot of those shares can end up being quite expensive. So for the average person to buy a share is pretty difficult. But with Qubic Capital, you can go and buy a share in Qubic Capital, and then Qubic Capital goes and takes your money and the money of many other people. So you might just throw in $50 and they'll go and take money from loads of other people around the world and they'll bunch it all together and then they buy full shares with that money. So for example, some shares for Qubic projects right now are trading, I think for Quotary, they're around $4,000. So your $50 will get you a percentage of that $4,000 share, and then it's going to hook you up so that when the passive income starts coming in from that project, you'll start earning passive income out of that share. So it's a really, really cool project. I don't know how it's going to go in time, but it's great to see this developing, and it's a great idea, and it's great to see this development happening on the Qubic network as the Qubic network just continues to grow, and it's quite a unique thing, this. Then the next thing that we've got here is something called Project X, and I think the name of this might have been changed already. Basically, as the Qubic official page says here, we are preparing a proposal called Project X for the following: adjusting emission model to burn Qubic and reduce total supply. So basically, the way this is going to go is that the Qubic team, so the 1 quadrillion max supply was, how would you put it? It was basically just an arbitrary number that CFB, when he was creating Qubic, just put out there. But then in hindsight, Qubic has looked and they've realized, okay, it doesn't, 1 quadrillion for marketing purposes isn't a great idea. So what we need is a lower max supply, so people are just more attracted to the project. So basically what they've gone and done is they've taken that max supply and they're going to reduce it to around 200 trillion. So you're going to see that number come down soon, which should be bullish for the Qubic community. Then through projects like the grants program, things like that, they're trying to bring more and more people to the ecosystem and projects to the ecosystem to increase the amount of burns that are happening in Qubic. And basically they're looking at as many ideas as they can to try and get as many burns happening as quickly as possible. Then they talk about achieving sustainable financing for community efforts. And basically what that means is that soon, when you mine Qubic, every month you get paid in Qubic. And what you're going to be able to do soon is say, hey, there's a project that I'm really interested in on the network and I think it's really cool. So instead of me getting paid in Qubic for my mining efforts, I'm going to go and start giving a percentage of my Qubic mining income every month towards this project. So it's a way to firstly stop so much Qubic, I guess, being sold in one respect. That could happen, but I suppose the projects probably will sell the Qubic anyway. But what it's going to do is go and make Qubic projects have more investment in them so that they can grow, which is a really big deal when you think about it. So if you're launching a project on the Qubic network, firstly, you can get a grant to launch it. Then if you come up with a really good idea, you're going to get people paying a lot of money to become a shareholder. You'll get 676 shareholders in that project, all who bring different skills and money to help your project be a success. And then you can go and put it out there and get people who are mining Qubic to give you a percentage of their income to grow your project. So that's a really, really unique and cool idea that the Qubic network has. And then they're going to make holding Qubic even more attractive. And they're going to do this through things like QEarn and stuff like that, where you can earn passive income over a year with Qubic. And of course, QEarn is going to lead to a lot more burns of Qubic and tying up Qubic liquidity. So there's some really, really big stuff coming for Qubic in the next couple of months. So Project X high-level approach: enable activities through weekly computer emissions with quorum support, allow spending of emissions on any topic. So that's what I was talking about how these emissions can be spent on basically whatever the miners want. Computers will vote on the percentage for each topic, and the Project X timeline, quorum approval. So the quorum has to approve in this implementation. So the basic implementation is expected in August. The core technology is going to be ready by the end of August, and then the smart contract proposal and the IPO latest by September. So this is all going to happen really, really soon, and it's going to be a big deal for Qubic if this takes off. And then my last slide here has got to do with Valis, which is a new project that's happening on the Qubic network. And basically this project has been happening for quite a while, but it's got a new name now, which is Valis. And as it says here, Valis is a dedicated group supporting the Qubic community through software, smart contracts, tokens, and services. Execution and transparency are cornerstones. So let's just take a look at Valis here for a second. And if we look at the Valis website, we can see, as they say here, the perfect match. Qubic is a revolutionary new distributed ledger technology that operates without a blockchain, delivering incredible performance and robust support for smart contracts. And then Valis is a dedicated group supporting the Qubic community through software, smart contracts, tokens, and services. Execution and transparency are our cornerstones. And then they've got all their software down here, their smart contracts down here, the specifications for vLiquid here, the tokens that they operate with, and then transparency on what they're actually doing, resources at a blog, and their contact. And then we can see the products that they've already released, which are Valis Explorer. So the Valis Explorer is where you can actually explore transactions that have happened on Qubic. And apparently by exploring through the Explorer here, you can actually see how quick Qubic is, which is quite interesting. And then we've got the Valis wallet, which, as we know, is here. And we've got our Valis wallet, and then we've got Valis liquidity, which hasn't happened yet, but that's where QEarn is going to exist. So it's really cool to see all these developments. And then we've got all the blog news that they've got here from the past, and the specifications then for vLiquid are open, and that's going to be launched soon as well. So I recommend guys going to visit valis.xyz and just reading up and really exploring what they're doing, because this is a whole new side to Qubic that's been worked on right now. That's all I've got for you today, guys. I'll see you all on the outside.